Welcome back and Happy New Year. This video once again was brought to you with Squarespace. From online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is a perfect place to build a beautiful website and run your business. If you're thinking of setting up a website in 2024, starting a business or a passion project with its own website, make sure you check out Squarespace. It's your one-stop shop to get everything you absolutely need to run that beautiful website that works amazingly. With Squarespace, you can set up membership areas, you can send out beautiful email campaigns, you can optimize SEO and PPC, you can time release content to go out when you've got other things going on. It's all there. Make sure you use my code right there to go and save 10% on your first website, but it'll only work if you use that code below. It's an exclusive code for you guys and girls. So if you're building a website, Squarespace is the place to go. Now, let's go and jump in my SLS because it's time to talk about the state of the market. Hello, welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. I think this may well be my first video I filmed in 2024. Manic start to the year, so I do apologise for not being on your screens sooner. Today is a video where I'm going to discuss the market crash in the car world, the market crash. And we're going to get into whether or not you should wait to buy your next car, are there further drops to come, or is now a good time to buy, and what should you do if you've bought a car probably at the peak of the market and you're sitting in it thinking, I've lost a lot of money, I'm in negative equity, what shall I do? I'm going to go into my cars and tell you how I've been affected by what's been going on over the last few months, so let's get into it. Today I'm in the SLS. I am off to Sandown Mercedes in Guildford to give this thing a service, give it the gearbox update that I've been trying to do for, Christ, I'm in the wrong lane. Needs an MOT, it's currently on an expired MOT at the moment. So I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna walk you around because it also needs a new windscreen. So pretty big bill coming. So what on earth has gone on with the market then? Trading volumes are down, sale prices are down, and altogether the market is pretty much down across the board. Now there are some exceptions to that. We're seeing things, hyped things like GT3s, 992 GT3s coming off an alarming rate. 992 Turbo S's, and particularly Porsches, have been hit the hardest. I always say those things that are most oversaturated, overhyped and overproduced in the case of modern Porsches are likely to come off the quickest. It's the same in watches as well. The overhyped stuff, like your steel Rolex stuff, it's equivalent to a GT3 and your Porsche elusive stuff like Turbo S's and things. They've come off massively. There was so much hype and pressure built into that market. In actual fact, no real scarcity. There hasn't been any scarcity in Rolex steel stuff, and there hasn't really been any scarcity in Porsche bits that people wanted. So your GTS's, your Turbo S's, your GT3s, GT3 RS's, bit of scarcity at the moment, but that will come off. Porsche are going to absolutely churn, and they have churned, and that's what's happened and contributed to the market falling off. Is it because everyone's poor and no one can afford it anymore? At that end of the market, I don't think it is. I think we're purely seeing a combination of factors coming into play. We've got seasonal factors. It's winter. Who buys a GT3 or a Turbo S or anything like that in the winter? Not as many people, actually, and every single year prices come off a little bit over the winter. We're seeing interest rates having an effect. People's mortgages are more expensive. Car finance is slightly more expensive than it was. Has that been the big kicker, the interest rates and car finance? I don't think so. I don't think it is at all. I think it's 1 or 2% is bumped up by. Lenders have swallowed a lot of it, and actually when you're borrowing 50, 60 grand, 100 grand and you've got a massive balloon, how much does that really make a difference? Not a huge amount. And actually on that topic, I actually think, same with property at the moment, there's so many parallels between these markets. I actually think at the moment it is a bit of a buyer's market. So you can buy cheaper and that will negate the extra often that you're going to have to pay on the finance. So I'm saying to my friends as well, and this applies to the car market, and this is my advice for people wanting to buy slightly rarer stuff and collectible stuff at the moment, it is a bit more of a buyer's market. Dealers are hungry for a deal, and the people that are selling want to get rid. So at the moment, if you can stomach a year or so, I mean, you can refi these things down the line, but if you can stomach a year or so at a slightly higher interest rate, there are bargains to be had. To give you an example then, 992 GT3s, they're now up at 160. You know, 6 months ago or a year ago, they were up at 230, 250. If you fund it now, you're saving 80 odd grand on the front end, but you're probably paying 1 or 2% extra interest as opposed to last year. So you're actually saving a hell of a lot of money on the front end and saving yourself a lot of pain down the line. Do I think you should buy now and not wait for the spring? Do I think the market's going to come back? I think it will surge back a little bit. I don't think we're going to get back up to the highs of where we were, but I do think there are lots of decent cars for very, very sensible money. Particularly things like 992 GT3s, they're stopping production on those. 992 Turbo S's, as we get into the 0.2 generation, the spicy version of 911s particularly, I think we are going to see a bit of a lull in production. We're going to see some hype on the new ones, and they're going to be people realizing that they can't actually get a brand new one anymore, and we're going to see a bit of a pickup. Rates are going to come down, which is going to affect the mindset of people that are buying. Spring is going to come along, everyone's going to want a stupid car, and I think people are going to get bored of holding off. Like with COVID, people got bored of holding off, and I think we're going to see a bit of a bull run in the market, in the car market for certain, particularly as interest rates now on mortgages are coming down below 4%. It's well worth talking to the guys at Charles & Dean if you do want to fund your car, and if you are in an agreement, you're not happy with the rate at the moment, lenders have dropped rates massively, and Charles & Dean know the best rates at the best lenders for your particular asset. So give them a call, even if you're already in an agreement, just show them the agreement, tell them what you're paying, and they should be able to sort you out a better deal. Lenders are fighting for business at the moment, so it really isn't as scary or as expensive as you think it might be. You'll only know if you give them a call. I'll leave the details below anyway. Say I sent you, and they will look after you, because they don't want you moaning, telling me, and then me moaning online. So make sure you give them a shout. They're a great bunch. They fund all my cars. They fund Matt Watson's as well, and I think they do stuff with Archie as well, with his new dealership particularly. So great bunch. But I do think if you're looking at something, even modern stuff, now is quite a good time to buy. That applies to petrol stuff. So you've got even things like 540Cs, they're 66 grand or so. You've got things like DBXs, sub 100 grand, it's chaos. You've got DB11s, I saw one for 60 odd grand the other day. You've got AMG GTs, 49 grand. Even F-Pace SVRs, mental car. A brand new one of those, you can save about 20 grand off list. And actually, if you install the Google Chrome tracker on Auto Trader, you can see the prices falling. I think these things are going to reach a point that they're going to get so cheap that people are just going to start snaffling them up. And once those deals go, I don't think there'll be a repeat of them. I could be wrong, but I just don't see the market continuing to fall. We're seeing it in the watch market, which is often ahead or behind of the car market and does echo it quite a lot. We're seeing prices plateauing and some creeping up now. Even modern stuff like Rolex, GMT, Pepsis, we're seeing them come back up. And we're seeing it in the housing market as well. We're still seeing sales. And I would advise people, again, I'm not an advisor, but my own advice and something that I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I buy. I swim upstream and I buy. When everyone else is panicking, I'll dive in, okay? On the long-term holds, I'll dive in. So cars like your SLS, like this, like my 997 GT3 RS, your modern classic, your collectible stuff, your blue chip stuff, we are seeing prices continuing to hold or even go up. So SLSs are regularly well above 200 grand now. A 997 GT3 RS has just gone up for 247 grand, like mine. That's literally double what I paid for mine. Carrera GTs, they're still selling at 1.5, 1.6. They're moving. These things are moving. So your collectible blue chip art grade stuff is still moving. But on your modern ICE stuff, your petrol stuff, I would say if you're looking at something silly, it might not be a bad time to start getting finance quotes and start looking at it. As I say, you can change your deal once you're in it. If you're on regulated settlement terms, you have a fixed cost to get out. Charles & Dean will advise you on all of this stuff, but I wouldn't panic, sit, wait for spring, wait for the market to pump and think, bugger, I'm paying an extra 20 grand or so, or whatever it's gone up. There are some crazy things out there that, you know, you've got to have big kahunas to get into, but I was looking at Bentley Mulsannes the other day. You can pick up 350 grand's worth of Bentley Mulsanne for like 50, 60 grand. That's a hell of a car. I mean, you're a prat if you buy one, but you're also a bit of a hero. EVs, they've absolutely pooed the bed. They're dead. Taycans, you know, they're up for 50 grand now. If you bought a Taycan at the top of the market, particularly if you paid over for one, there's no way sugarcoating this. You've had an absolute nightmare. You've had a shocker. I hope it saved you a load on your corp tax and you managed to get the VAT back and all that stuff, because if you haven't, that's life ruining for some people. Taycan Turbo S is up at 160. They're now sort of 90 grand. Dealers will give you 80. I mean, that ain't funny. Your Audi electric stuff as well, they're up for early 20s. That's a hell of a lot of car. You know,
chuck it on a monthly, chuck it on a lease, and then just hand it back at the end. But there are some wild deals on electric stuff. That stuff's not coming back. The prices on those aren't coming back. There's nothing collectible about anything electric. They're all pretty much just appliances at the moment. And if you think you're going to buy one of those and make money, you're probably wrong. The best case scenario is that you might just come out without losing your shirt. But those are my thoughts on the market anyway. I do think that it is an interesting time, and if you've got cash or you are in the market to buy, I personally wouldn't hold off much longer. My Lusso is coming back to my garage. I haven't actually sold it. I had far too many tire kickers and people thinking the finance was just a little bit too expensive at the time they were looking. And I refused to drop the price. It's an amazing car. I think they're going to solidify. There's nothing else really like it at that price point. And yeah, I think they're fantastic. You see Romas in free fall. It's half the car a Lusso is, as far as I'm concerned. I think there are some decent bargains to be had from people that want to sell. I don't want to sell though. So Lusso's coming back, and there's gonna be a video on that. That was a rambling roundup of the market. I'm nearly at Mercedes-Benz Guildford. Oh God, that was a little bit slippery there. I forgot it was -2. You might have seen the panic in my eyes there. Right, let's jump out of the SLS then and show you what's what. So here we are then. Hold on, I'll turn it off. Here is the SLS, still running. Leave it fully up to 10. Here she is, not been on the channel for a little while, still with its Suntech PPF on, but not the black stuff. What to tell you, I just think these are fantastic. You've still got mod cons. There is a video on my channel about putting the CarPlay in. It's got all mod cons, heated seats, you know, it is a very, very livable with car, loads of room in here. It's absolutely fantastic. The right mix of modern and old school. Look at those old school AMG dials. So, so good. Very, very comfortable. Heated, lots of adjustability in the seats. Absolutely phenomenal. No real need to chop this in anytime soon. We have got a bit of a crack in the windscreen up here. Not ideal, so I'm going to get them to do that if there's any availability on SLS windscreens. That will just be a claim on the insurance. It's quite good, in fact, that it's chipped that. It's done the glass, but it hasn't done the bodywork somehow. I mean, there's a bit of a mark on the bodywork, but it's fine, absolutely fine. We can live with that. Overall though, this one is staying in the collection. Very, very happy with the SLS, and I'll leave the gearbox thing, I'll leave that. Mercedes-Benz of Exeter did it for a friend's car, and it's basically the gearbox update from the SLS GT. So it means shifts are quicker, and if you ever driven one of these, you'll know that first is a little bit hesitant in it. The gearbox is the only thing that needs a little bit of a twiddle. It's actually the gearbox from the 458, which not many people know, but Mercedes run it at a lower PSI to extend its kind of shelf life or whatever. It's run basically at a lot less stress than the 458 gearbox, meaning this thing should probably drive to the moon and back many, many, many times. But there is an update to the software available. Mercedes-Benz of Exeter have done it, so I might get the guys here, if they don't know exactly what I'm talking about, to give the guys there a call. But apparently it is absolutely transformative, and that's the only thing this car really needs. For now then, I'm going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening to my market update. Let me know your thoughts on my market update, because I'm not always right, although I would say 99.9% of the time, as we've seen on this channel, I have been right. So smug outro aside, thank you very much for watching. Happy New Year, be nice to each other, and I'll see you all very soon. Ciao.